big part of our student population have a lot of basic needs that need to be met, and Karen Hughes and the YSC helps provide that.
A teacher can be the best teacher on the face of the earth, but if a child has something going on at home and they can't focus on what that teacher is saying, they're not learning in that classroom.
We got evicted from our trailer, and I started coming here in November, and all of our stuff, clothes, everything got like thrown out, and I told my mom about it, and of course we didn't have the money to buy our school supplies and our clothes and stuff, so I actually went to Miss Hughes and got like a lot of school supplies to help me through, and I still use the school supplies still.
How can you focus on what that teacher's saying when you don't even have the basic necessities in life to get by day to day? So we want to remove any barrier that's going on for that child, so when they are in the classroom, sitting, listening to the teacher, they're actually learning and not worrying about what's going to happen after school.
I think sometimes when we talk about money, a lot of times people forget that that means there are people behind that, and more specifically, there are students behind that money, and that by addressing these needs that we've kind of talked about here, it's just as important as a good education is to make sure we're taking care of our kids.
This year, the 7th graders didn't have an activity to do that were meeting the expectations in the classroom during the flex period.
So our front knee is bent, our hips are tucked, we're in that beautiful warrior two. Let's breathe. How's our breathing?
We brought a yoga instructor in and we let the girls do the yoga class, and that seemed to be a huge success.
I've never tried yoga, and when they said, would you like to try yoga, I was like, sure, because testing's coming up and it's going to be really stressful. So I thought that if we tried yoga, that it would relax us more and help us out with understanding lessons better in class and just something fun for us to do.
So we're talking about the whole child, what happens to them 24 hours a day, not just the 7 hours that they're here. You take that away from them, we go back to them being in trouble and falling behind. For so many of our students, they were missing meals from day to day. They'd eat their breakfast, their lunch here, but then they'd go home and not have a meal in the evening and have to wait all the way until breakfast again. One of the things that our school does is make sure that we provide dinner for those students so they're getting that third meal in the day. Another thing that I do, we do the weekend power packs through the Free Store Food Bank. So those students that might not have a meal on the weekend are guaranteed to have food on the weekends.
When I started coming here, I got the weekend meals because, like I said, my parents didn't have a lot of money, and me and my brother started getting the weekend meals, and it helped a lot.
Kids have needs, and I think that the Youth Service Center and our extended school services, like those things are invaluable to helping students overcome barriers.
Teachers can assign students to go into ESS if they need some extra help with a concept. Students can also voluntarily go to ESS if they need internet access to work on a project or just need a quiet space to get some homework done.
I had the worst grades, and then I was referred to ESS. Now at first I didn't want to do it because I thought it was going to be like sort of just a place where you went in and it was like all sloppy, but it's really not. It's a real straight fashion thing, and it's really helpful because I went from being like a complete F to all C's in my grades. So I really do think it helps in that way.
I don't think we should ever lose sight of our students and our children and investing in them, no matter what school district they're in and where they're from. They all are deserving of all we can give.